What's up, fight fans? It's rebuttal time. Rebuttal time. It's counterpunch time. Um, this counterpunch, this rebuttal, is concerning Deontay Wilder. You know, we've heard both sides. We've heard the Joshua side. We've heard proposal. We've heard the Wilder's response to the proposal. So the thing is, you know, I've been reading the comments. I got some yays. I got some nays. You know, I got this, I got that. But let's talk about it. Let's be devil's advocate with this, okay? You can let's talk about Wilder. You can argue, you can make the argument that Deontay Wilder needs more than $12.5 million because of the split, because of the percentages and everything like that. If you add up the split, or you add up what the split is, or what the bulk amount is, the 12.5 million is a little bit, it's under 20%, okay? And the whole thing is, you know, the whole idea is to have a 50-50, you know. And you could also argue that, you know, the take it or leave it, you know, the take it or leave it, or the 48-hour deadline, you know, I wouldn't agree with that. You know what I mean? I think if the negotiations are open, right, it should be more than that. It should be a lot more than that, you know, from a business standpoint. Now, this is only business. You know, this is not the legacy end of it, or, you know, the love of the sport end of it. You know, if the fight was supposed to make a certain amount of money, it's in the UK, it will make a lot of money. The only problem is it won't make the money that people think it will make. And I'm going to tell you why. One is because of Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has not been over there. He's not fought in New England, in Great Britain, New England. He has not fought in England, okay? He has not fought in Great Britain or in the UK, anywhere, to get his name out there, to get people to know who he is. You know, I feel he should have fought Dylan White, knocked out Dylan White, showed the British fans what type of savage he is from the South, right? Then he would have had a bargaining chip, because now he's the only guy that knocked out a guy that Anthony Joshua knocked out. That's what I would say about that, you know. So that affects his credibility as a fighter, because now he's just a guy that never really fought outside the U.S. You know, you can argue that Joshua hasn't, but Joshua doesn't need the U.S., period, because boxing is way more popular in the UK. He's way more popular. He's way more famous, you know, and he's known in other parts of the world, you know, other than the UK. Deontay Wilder is not. Deontay Wilder, you know, his name, I think it gets more recognition because it's starting to compare and be considered to fight Joshua. That's why people in Australia, the UK, other parts of the world are now, you know, attentive to Wilder, because he is a possible opponent. But before this possibility, people really didn't know who he was in comparison to AJ. AJ is the A side. This is all business, okay? Now, legacy. It shouldn't be about money at all, really, if it was legacy, if the guys want to fight. You got one guy that's talking to business, you know, that's the A side. You got the other guy that pretends to only talk about, I just want to fight, and that's Wilder. Wilder said in a link, and in the last, I will put it again in this link, under this video, that Wilder made a proposal to Joshua already. Hey, I'll take whatever you give me. Whatever percentage I will take just to get the fight. And if I beat you, you take the same on the rematch. Joshua says no problem. So what Joshua did is he did exactly what he said he was going to do. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go back, come up with a figure again, go back to the table again, and make another proposal. And that's what happened. This is where the 12.5 comes in. So yeah, it's about 18% to 80, you know what I mean, to 78%. So it's a way off margin. But Deontay Wilder already stated, he went on record saying, you know, and saying that, hey, this, I will take that amount. I will take it, whatever it is, as long as you take it the next time on the rematch. And then the rematch, it'll be in America. So I don't see what the argument is, because the problem I have with Wilder, you can't go on record saying something and then you double back on it. That's just like this is like Andrade saying, hey, I'll fight Golovkin for whatever money, right? And then Golovkin's camp says, okay, why don't you take $1.5 million to fight me? And then he says, oh, no, the split ain't right. The split ain't right. The split got to be right. Well, you just said you would take whatever you can get on record. You said that. So you can't, you can't go back on your words. You know what I'm saying? That's the only problem. That's the contradicting part on the Wilder's behalf. Wilder should take the money, because if he's worried about legacy, you hear him say that all the time. I'm about legacy. I'm about legacy. Don't make the date. Don't wait. The date is trying to be made. And he's the only resistance. So he's resisting his own progress. That's all I see. Yeah, it does look it does look one-sided, like it looks like a shit deal on a business standpoint. It does. Now, I'm not going to say it does not. But what I'm saying is, if you've already agreed to it, you've already said, dude, I don't, take the amount of money. Hell, I'll take it as long as I get in the ring with you and fight you, because that is seeming to be Wilder's only objective, is to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Now the money is introduced. Then it's like, no, that ain't enough. But it's $12.5 million. You coming from a person that ain't made $2.5 million in a single fight. But then yet he doesn't want to take this, because now all of a sudden he's worried about business. I just don't see it, guys. I just can't wrap my head around it, because it looks like, because you look at these boxing channels and you say, oh, well, I think Joshua made up a bogus amount and an offer that was just too out of the ordinary. And then, and of course you could compare it to other fighters that did the same thing. But this is this particular situation, okay? Now, all he had to do was take the fight and call the bluff. Now, here's the deal. If he said, it would be a difference if Deontay Wilder says, okay, I'll take it, call his bluff. And then Anthony Joshua's crew, all of a sudden now I don't know if this is the case, and I don't know if this is what I want to do. See what I'm saying? That would be a totally different situation. A totally different situation than, than what's going on here. A proposal is being made, and Deontay Wilder is rejecting it. And his response is, hey, I'm offended by the proposal, by the offer. So this is what we're dealing with. So there's no really resistance. You know what I'm saying? If this fight was really meant to be made, if this fight was just hell-bent on being made, and Deontay Wilder was a thirsty savage like he claims to be, he should have no problem with taking fucking $12.5 million. And if he goes in there and knocks out Joshua, he knows he's getting all the belts. He's getting all the belts. So people forget that. A guy's offering you that has 4 belts, offering you damn near $13 million. And it would take you 5 or 6 fights to make that amount of money, right? Or more. And you renege on it. Like he's can't fight someone else and still make money. You know what I'm saying? So obviously you got to ask, who really wants this fight the most? You know what I mean? Because we know one thing's apparent. Just like Floyd did not need Manny Pacquiao, right? He still was comfortable. Canelo didn't need Golovkin. Canelo was comfortable. Okay? And Anthony Joshua sure the hell don't need Deontay Wilder. The fans, us, we want to see the fight. But Anthony Joshua can live another day, because you forget Tyson Fury's coming back on the stage, and he was the guy with the original belt anyway. He was the legitimate, original lineal champ. People forget that. He's coming back on the scene, So if the focus shifts off Wilder, he's going to fall through the cracks, guys. Again, you guys tell me about this rebuttal. You guys tell me about this counterpunch. Please subscribe, of course. Until then, peace.